Now that the NFL draft is over, I wanted to give you guys 5 of my biggest winners. So let's jump right in. What is up, everybody? It's Liss, and I'm back with you one more time. So listen, we had a huge week with new subscribers last week joining the channel, and I want to keep this momentum going forward. So if you've enjoyed my content or found it valuable, then go hit the subscribe button right now and help us both. Am I right? Now, after all the amazing responses that I received last week from the viewers of this audience on last week's video, I decided to double down and give you another one that feels like it was cut from the exact same cloth. Because it was. I don't even know what that means. Zach Wilson. This is not a Zach Wilson fan account yet, but after the Jets' 2022 NFL draft, it's one step closer. After adding 2 true defensive playmakers, as well as Garrett Wilson, potentially the draft's safest wide receiver, and Breece Hall, the unanimous top running back, Jets football may actually be watchable once again. But Zach Wilson is a big winner for a couple of reasons. Number one, adding Sauce Gardner and Jermaine Johnson is an immediate jump start to fixing a defense that ranked number 29 in rush yards allowed, as well as number 30 in passing yards allowed last season. I mean, close your eyes, close them, and imagine a Jets team that isn't trailing on 69% of their snaps in 2022. Imagine a world where Zach Wilson doesn't have to perpetually whip up miracle plays and pop anxiety medication between every single drive. But if it were up to his former New York Jets scout, he'd be on the bench already. Let's read this tweet because it is, as usual, awesome. So this guy decided that he was going to directly tweet at Chris Collinsworth in hopes of a greater outcome. Would you like to bet me on this at Chris Collinsworth? I have been saying the Jets' Zach Wilson is a bust before he was drafted, and it's documented. Here's the link. When I am proven right, will you hire me as PFF's leading draft expert and promote me as such on PFF's site? Now, I've had a number of jobs in my life, but never once did I think it would be a good idea to tell my potential employer that A, he was wrong, then challenge him to a bet, then ask him to hire me to the highest position if I win, and lastly, post pictures of my face on the company website.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
But the real reason that Zach Wilson was a big winner after the NFL draft was because he finally has a supporting cast. The addition of Garrett Wilson immediately gives Zach Wilson a diverse outside option to unleash his QB1 accuracy rating against man coverage. And on top of that, the Jets secured one of the best running back prospects that we've seen in years in Breece Hall. Finally, defenses will be forced to respect the run behind one of the league's top 10 best offensive lines, which we all know can set up magic down the field. But then again, this is the Jets. CeeDee Lamb. Well. Come on down, CeeDee Lamb. You know, it's amazing how far we've come after all the crap that was being spewed just a couple of months ago.
It's just an old crapper tank, people.
All the fear-mongering, all the Jerry Jones can't help himself. He's going to take a wide receiver in round 1 and replace CeeDee Lamb. Then literally none of that happened. But for those of you that have been under a rock or on ice for the past 8 months, here's the update.
You mean the Demolition Man?
Amari Cooper has been shipped to the Cleveland Browns. Michael Gallup was re-signed and is currently rehabbing an ACL tear. And shockingly, Jerry Jones controlled himself on draft night. Yep. The worst thing that happened to CeeDee Lamb was the 3rd-round addition of Senior Bowl standout Jalen Tolbert. And now Lamb is primed to validate his top 5 Dynasty wide receiver ranking. But Jamie Halls would like to chime in. I got called a CeeDee Lamb hater a couple of days ago. Like, dude, I would love to have CeeDee Lamb on my teams, but when you people keep ranking him in your top 5 when he produces like a wide receiver 2, he's an obvious sell, cry face emoji. Yeah, it was so obvious, in fact, that Jamie sold all of his CeeDee Lamb for Hunter Renfrow because he only likes wide receiver 1s. Hey, Jamie, there's a reason that this tweet got just 1 like. Because the runway has been officially cleared up for CeeDee Lamb to crush his wide receiver 36, 20.4% target share from 2021. And honestly, I don't care if it's on the outside or the inside. I mean, it's like you guys forgot that last year's wide receiver one, who outscored the next closest wide receiver by 95 fantasy points, had a slot rate of 52%. Oops. But until the day that CeeDee Lamb does finally produce as a wide receiver one, random Twitter users will continue to trip over the laundry machine power cord in their mom's basement to send sensationalized tweets like this one from Ronald McDonald. Bro, CeeDee Lamb isn't good. He's average. I don't get what the hype is around him. The rookie Jamar Chase is better. No shit, Robert. Rashod Bateman. Prior to the departure of Marquise Brown, it was hard to picture a scenario where Rashod Bateman had wide receiver one potential, but now it's hard to picture a world where he doesn't. Because believe it or not, last season, the Ravens actually ranked number 9 in total pass attempts, which is a massive change from the back-to-back seasons of dead last that we saw previously. Now, some people will tell you that the only reason the Ravens turned up the passing game last year was due to the backlog of running back injuries that they had, and they'd probably be right. But one thing that we know about Lamar Jackson is that eventually the rushing will catch up to him. So 2022 may be the year of less rushing and more Bateman. But the real reason Rashod Bateman was a big draft day winner, aside from the Marquise Brown trade, was that the Baltimore Ravens used 11 picks in the 2022 NFL draft and selected absolutely 0 wide receivers. But then there's a Caleb Ivey in every single league. I'm seeing Rashod Bateman carrying top 20 wide receiver value ahead of Jerry Jeudy and Terry McLaurin. I'm sorry, but Rashod Bateman is 100% a sell. If that's the value your league mates share, he's just outside the top 24 for me. Just outside the top 24? This comment is from May 5th. It wasn't dug up from a time capsule that Caleb buried in the ground pre-Marquise Brown trade. Although that is what he should probably tell people. I mean, look at this depth chart. This has to be the league's thinnest wide receiver group. It's literally Rashod Bateman and Mark Andrews. And the most shocking part about this is that the Ravens can't even afford to rush any more than they did in 2021 after finishing 3rd overall in the NFL with 517 attempts. So call me crazy, but I truly believe a healthy Rashod Bateman could be in line for anywhere between 140 to 160 season-long targets. And there's a universe where that's actually underselling it. Jalen Hurts. One of the biggest winners. The Philadelphia Eagles entered the 2022 NFL Draft with 2 first-round picks and spent absolutely 0 on quarterbacks as speculated by literally everyone with an internet connection. But this was great news to every single Jalen Hurts owner as we huddled together to keep each other warm while our shares of him in Dynasty hung in the balance. But just like Christmas morning with 2 parents in split custody, Jalen Hurts owners received a second Christmas gift. The addition of A.J. Brown, one of the league's most elite passing weapons. So unlike the Baltimore Ravens, whose depth chart looks like a bunch of Madden football generated player names, it's absolutely beautiful. I mean, look at the players on this roster. A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith, Quez Watkins, Dallas Goedert, Miles Sanders. And this is all while having one of the 5 highest graded offensive lines in all of football coming out of 2021. But you can't make everyone happy. Just listen to what Greg Miller has to say as he's tweeting directly at Carson Strong. You have a real opportunity in Philly. Jalen Hurts stinks. Your arm strength will make him look silly. Go Birds. FYI, Greg, Deshaun Watson's arm strength is worse than Jalen Hurts. That's why he got so many massages. But with the firepower on the outside, now will finally be an advantage for Jalen Hurts and his QB11 completion percentage versus man coverage. I mean, Hurts did rank top 13 in red zone accuracy, top 10 in deep ball accuracy, and he already finishes the QB7 in money throws in 2021, and people still want to question what his upside is. Now, I don't live in Philadelphia, so all I know is what I've seen from the Vince Papale story from Disney, so I apologize if I get this wrong. But all I picture are people spelling Eagles at the top of their lungs in the streets and hanging from the back of garbage trucks as they're flying down a road filled with row houses. How close was I? Listen, guys, can't you just give him a chance? J.K. Dobbins. Believe it or not, the Baltimore Ravens actually had 2 post-NFL draft winners. Now, we talked about Bateman earlier, but J.K. Dobbins may be one of the sneakiest winners there is, and judging by his keep trade cut data, that's actually a fact. Currently ranked the RB11 overall, after missing all of 2021 with an ACL tear, he looks primed to retake the throne in this Baltimore backfield. And even with major injuries to just about every running back on this roster, the Ravens still only used 1 of their 11 draft picks on a running back, and it was sleeper Tyler Beatty in the 6th round.
Erroneous!
But the last time that we saw J.K. Dobbins on an NFL field, he looked like one of the most explosive running backs that we had seen in, well, forever. After averaging 6.1 yards per touch, which was number 3 at the position, he finally started breaking out during his last 6 games of the NFL season. But then we, of course, stumble upon tweets like these. Dobbins is a huge sell in Dynasty. Man did well as a rookie. Then he got injured and is ranked almost as high as Christian McCaffrey on Keep Trade Cut? Huh? I'm not sure how many bong rips it takes to come to the conclusion that Dobbins' value went up when it's McCaffrey's that went down. But I can assure you that they are still separated by at least 6 spots, and eventually it'll be more. Yet it's certainly not inconceivable that Dobbins gets a 250 carry season, which of course comes with the limited passing down usage, and truth be told, 100% of his upside comes from explosive plays and red zone work. But when you have a 23-year-old running back with 4.3 speed, incredible tackle breaking ability, and top 5 metrics in both juke rate and breakaway runs, it becomes very, very, very hard to say no.
One little bite won't hurt you.
And that's it, guys. If you enjoyed the content you saw today, please hit the subscribe button. As always, comment below. I respond to everybody. I love talking with you guys. I've had some really great back and forth with a few of you in the past couple weeks. Couple guys on here have acknowledged the editing work that they're recognizing in my videos. We had a guy named Adam, shout outs to you, for being the first person to recognize how much 90s clipping and references I use. Obviously, big part of my youth growing up, so I love to infuse those. And guys, as I typically mention, please go check out the Discord channel. The link is in the description. It's absolutely free to join. We have close to 650 members, trade channels, rumor channels, public channels. I'm in there giving away prizes on Fridays. It's a lot of fun. And for those of you guys that want to go one step further, patreon.com/I'm outraged. You can come join me. I do exclusive Dynasty content once a week. I post articles amongst other things. You can check it out there. And lastly, dynastyrankings.com. We're working on a soft launch in a couple of weeks where all of my rankings will be available. So feel free to go over there, put in your email, and get the updates as they come out. Once again, guys, I appreciate you checking it out, and we'll see you guys again in the future.